Let's see what we got. Icebox jewelry and big trouble after the feds. See, I ain't know the feds had zoomed in on them. I know I was coming because I felt like they was falling off a little bit. I'm like, I haven't been hearing shit about Icebox. At first, used to see every rapper going on there buying jewelry, but I'm like, damn, lately I ain't been. You been hearing Jewelry Unlimited. You see all the other people. I ain't been hearing shit about Icebox lately, so I was just searching them just to see like where they been at, what's been going on, and I see them niggas been hit by the feds.
Hey, no.
He likes to act like he doesn't have money.
And what we doing?
Standing on business.
Feds storming into a high-end jewelry spot that's iced out almost every big rapper in Atlanta.
Crazy.
Yeah, that
There was,
place. Icebox Diamonds and Watches.
Duping people out
this
they
is the
shit?
same shop known for loading artists up with flashy chains, diamond watches, and custom pieces that turn heads the second they step outside. We're talking major names: T.I., 21 Savage, Migos, Meek Mill, Drake, Offset, Ludacris, Lil B, and overnight. It's the same playbook as Johnny Dang. Bring in the stars, load them up with jewelry, post it online, and let the hype pull in even more customers. Simple system.
I was telling people this how you
Post
could
it
tell
online.
Young Thug got fake dreads in his head right now, because at this time his shit was horrible. So for his shit to be straight as it is now, I'm like that ain't his
let
real
the
hair
hype
that's in
pull
it
in
now.
even
Oh,
more
this was
customers.
his real hair back then.
Simple system,
But now
big
it's
results.
like,
And
you
people
could tell he
already
got,
saw
like,
the
better
drama
dreads, and
surrounding
like,
Johnny
nah, that ain't
Dang.
it. You
Talk
ain't
about
going from
fake
them skinny
pieces,
dreads to now your
rumors
shit
of
just
raids,
full and thick.
and the internet going wild. But what's happening with Icebox feels way deeper.
What
What's happening?
Yeah, this finna f the world up.
Hey, no.
He likes to act like he doesn't have money.
And what we doing?
Standing on business.
Bro, my first diamonds came from Icebox.
This
Okay.
shit too crazy. That nigga Uzi shit was fucked up.
Christmas came early.
This isn't just talk floating around online. There are real lawsuits, federal investigations, and connections to a massive multi-million-dollar case. Some rappers have even gone on record claiming they were overcharged or pressured into deals.
I mean, I'm about to say, you can't sue a nigga because you was overcharged. Fuck, you still bought it and you knew you was overcharged, not being pressured into deals.
Raising Siri even gone on record, claiming they were overcharged or pressured into deals, raising serious questions about what was really going on behind those glass counters.
They know what it
that
is. It's
price,
business.
people are saying it's not even close to what it should be.
You either buy it or
Now
you
things
don't.
start getting serious. We've got a store manager reportedly restrained inside his own home while a
See, I would have been charging them for my likeness of y'all putting me on y'all TV show. Now, if y'all ain't cutting me no deal or nothing, but you want to get me on your channel, you making money off the channel, and I'm spending money on your jewelry and shit, you got to be cutting some type of deal, which I heard that they do. I heard, they be letting them hold shit, cutting deals and all that type of shit. I know nigga ain't just
cleared out
doing it
safes
for nothing.
packed with
If
somewhere
they is, they
between
stupid.
$5 and $10 million worth of merchandise. Then authorities step in, taking down entire groups and recovering Icebox pieces with the original tag still attached. And on top of that, artists who used to shop there are now speaking out, warning others that the jewelry scene can be full
I'm
of
saying, I don't
questionable
see niggas shopping there no more. It's been at least a year or two since I
pieces,
seen like
and
niggas
that
really
more
popping
truth
up at
could
Icebox
surface
like
soon.
that.
So today, everything gets put on the table. Every artist they made chains for, every dispute, every lawsuit, every behind-the-scenes deal, and every bit of evidence people are talking about. By the end of this, you might see that Icebox YouTube channel in a completely different way. Let's really break this down. To understand how it got this far, you have to go back to the beginning, how Icebox actually built its name. This wasn't some small family shop that randomly blew up in the music scene. This was calculated from the start. Icebox Diamonds and Watches set up in Buckhead, Atlanta, one of the most high-end areas in the Southeast,
Buckhead?
where all kinds of money move through daily. The business
the
is
hood?
run by key figures like Mo Jula and Jeff Munoz, handling daily operations. These are the same faces seen in those viral Instagram posts standing next to artists. But what really set Icebox apart from other jewelry stores was simple. They figured something out early that most others completely missed. The real secret here is hip-hop marketing power. Think about it. One artist wears your chain in a music video, posts it on Instagram, or mentions you in a song, and suddenly every rising rapper in Atlanta wants to step into your shop. That kind of exposure is worth millions, and all it takes is a few custom pieces to make it happen. So Icebox leaned into that strategy heavy. They started offering payment setups to artists, but not the typical kind you'd see in regular stores. This was a whole different level. They would let artists walk out with high-end pieces, Rolexes, Cartier bracelets, custom diamond chains,
Only
with
paying
the agreement
half, huh?
that payment would come later. But here's where it gets interesting and important. A lot of these deals came with conditions. Artists were expected to wear the jewelry in public.
I mean, that makes sense. If I'm letting you hold the jewelry and you ain't pay me, you paying down payments. Well, yeah, because if you paying down payments, you don't get that bitch like a little way. You know what I'm saying? You won't get your jewelry until afterwards. So you get to walk out the door with the jewelry. You only put a little bit down. Man, just put, shout
Posted
me out or
across
something.
social media. In other words, you're not just a customer, you're promoting the brand every time you step out. You get to show off pieces you haven't fully paid for
pay the
yet,
shit off
while
full
the
and you
store
ain't gotta
gets
do nothing. You ain't
nonstop
gotta do none of
exposure.
that. Just pay
On the
if you want it
surface,
like that,
sounds
pay
like
it
a
out and we ain't
perfect
gotta talk
trade-off,
about
right?
it.
The artist looks fully iced out and the jeweler
Business.
gets major promotion. But in reality, this is where things can get complicated. What happens if payments stop coming in? What if the value of the pieces gets questioned? And what if artists
Payments stop coming in. Hope you got motherfucking a license, so you got addresses, you got it under contract. We got court, police, anything. I hope they
are out here wearing massive amounts of jewelry on credit and the business relationship suddenly falls apart. That's when everything starts to shift. That's when lawsuits start stacking up, accusations start flying, and people quietly start questioning the quality of what Icebox is really putting out. And those quiet conversations, they didn't stay quiet for long. They got louder and louder. But before getting into the drama, it's important to see just how wide Icebox's reach is. In hip-hop, the client list is stacked. T.I., an Atlanta legend, has been connected with the store for years. And NBA, actors, and other entertainers who've walked through those doors. Icebox wasn't just a jewelry shop, it became a major cultural stop. In Atlanta, making it big almost felt connected to stepping inside that showroom at least once. Icebox has been using advanced 3D printing tech to produce custom, made-to-order jewelry. And here's the key detail: diamond chip pieces. These aren't large single diamonds, they're tiny fragments grouped together to create that fully iced out look. From a distance, under the right lighting, especially in photos or music videos, these pieces shine like crazy and grab attention instantly. At first glance, they look flawless, bright, flashy, and a lot of the business.
Nigga ain't talking about shit.
Why do you need an LLC? Even if it's your
Nigga
first
just saying the
business, you
same
don't want
shit
to
to
link
make
the
the video
business with
seem
your
long.
personal life and property.
Works on presentation, how it looks, how it shines, how it shows up. This situation
what the
has
people did.
everything.
What made the
Here's how
feds
it
come in.
unfolded. Young Thug, born Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was one of Ice's time with more
breaking down
pieces.
Young Thug.
Icebox claims that over time, payments were made totaling about $95,000, but then suddenly stopped, leaving an outstanding balance of just over $115,000. At that point, the company took legal action, but they didn't stop at the remaining balance. They filed a lawsuit totaling $350,000, which immediately caught attention. But here's where things really escalated. Young Thug didn't just accept it quietly. Through his legal team, he pushed back hard, making serious claims against the company. According to those claims, Icebox had been trying to build a close relationship with him, encouraging him to take expensive pieces without requiring payment up front. Basically, Thug's side was saying the whole situation felt set up. The claim was he was given all this jewelry, fully aware he'd wear it in public and bring attention to the brand. Then later, large payment demands showed up. In legal filings, his team argued that Icebox focused on him as a high-value client, providing pieces, benefiting from his visibility, and then pursuing much higher amounts once things fell apart.
Thug's team pushed for the case to be dismissed completely. And if you step back and look at it, this situation follows a pattern people have been talking about. A popular artist gets approached, receives jewelry through flexible payment setups, promotes it naturally through their lifestyle, and then later faces big invoices that may not match what they expected. And here's where it gets even more intense. Before the lawsuit even hit, there was another situation
they were supposed to get a deal, and it was supposed to be a little cheaper, and then they hit them with the whole full tag or something. That's different, but when they gave it to you up front, I hope you
a
ain't
Young
think that shit was
Thug
free.
and Little Baby
You knew
video
better.
shoot.
You knew that invoice was
Reports
coming.
claim that around $150,000 worth of jewelry went missing during that shoot, right in the middle of a major production with two huge Atlanta artists. Pieces reportedly disappeared. After that, Icebox pointed responsibility toward Young Thug and included those losses in legal claims. That meant the situation wasn't just about unpaid balances anymore. It expanded into a second dispute involving the missing items from the video shoot. So now, instead of one issue, there were two major legal conflicts happening at the same time. One tied to the jewelry payments and another connected to the missing merchandise. What once looked like a strong business relationship, full of social media moments and public appearances, shifted into a serious legal back and forth. This is what it looks like when the celebrity jeweler model starts falling apart. The friendly energy fades fast when the money slows down. But if that young thug situation sounded intense, what happened next had people completely stunned. Back in February 2019, Icebox became the center of one of the most talked about jewelry theft cases in Atlanta. Here's how it played out, and it really does sound like something straight out of a movie. On the night of February 16, 2019, Jeff Desi went out to dinner with his wife. Just a normal evening in Atlanta, nothing unusual at all. But behind the scenes, reports say they were being watched and followed without realizing it. When they got back to their home in Smyrna, just outside Atlanta, things took a serious turn. Individuals wearing masks forced their way inside and restrained the couple, keeping them under control. But this wasn't just about taking items from the house. They were after something much bigger. They demanded access, keys, codes, everything connected to the Icebox store and its safes. Once they had that information, one person stayed behind while others headed toward the store. And that's when the situation escalated even further. Over the next couple of hours, multiple safes inside Icebox were opened and cleared out. Reports say 2 out of 7 safes were emptied, with items taken in a very calculated way. High-end watches, diamond-covered chains, loose stones, and cash were all part of it. The estimated total? Somewhere between $5 million and $10 million worth of merchandise. Yeah, millions. A massive loss that sent shockwaves through the city and had everyone talking about what really went down behind the scenes. When Atlanta police showed up around 2:30 a.m. the next morning, after a silent alarm or possible tip, they didn't even notice anything unusual at first. That's how precise the situation was. From the outside, everything looked normal. It wasn't until they got inside that the full scale of what happened became clear. And this is where people really started asking questions. Icebox had built a massive online presence with over 1 million followers on Instagram. They regularly posted videos showing off safes, inventory, and some of their most expensive pieces, almost like a behind-the-scenes look at everything inside. Some people began saying that kind of content revealed way too much. But things got even more questionable after the incident. Reports claim that Icebox didn't immediately provide surveillance footage or a detailed list of missing items to local authorities. And for a business dealing with high-value merchandise,
I'm pretty sure they had insurance on everything. Don't they get all that shit back? So
people really expected tight security and quick access to that kind of information. The delay definitely caught attention. Online conversations started heating up, with all kinds of theories being thrown around. People were wondering what caused the holdup and why basic details weren't shared right away. The investigation continued for weeks. Then, in March 2019, law enforcement executed search warrants at 2 different locations and took multiple suspects into custody. That's when things started moving forward. But by then, the story had already grabbed everyone's attention in a major way.
Once those arrests were made, even more details started coming out, and it only made the situation look deeper. Authorities reportedly recovered several pieces connected to Icebox, some of them still carrying original tags and identifiers. That instantly raised more questions about how everything unfolded and who had access to what. Investigators began piecing together how the operation was planned, and reports suggested this wasn't random at all. This looked organized, calculated, and carefully executed over time. The level of detail involved had people wondering how so much information about the store's layout and inventory could have been known. At the same time, the spotlight on Icebox got even brighter. Social media went into overdrive with people revisiting old videos, past posts, and every public moment tied to the brand. Conversations started shifting from just the incident itself to the bigger picture, how the business operated and how visible everything had been online. Then came even more discussion around the jewelry itself.
people started debating value, pricing, and how much customers were really getting for what they paid. The combination of legal issues, public attention, and ongoing questions.
I heard like
created
when you really go into Icebox store that they really did have some cheaper pieces though, besides the shit they be showing on their channel and all that. Like they had some real cheap pieces, like they're supposed to be real diamonds and shit for $1,000, $1,200. You know what I'm saying? Not the moissanite, like real diamonds and shit, like little smaller pieces, but still.
Wave
like,
of scrutiny that the brand couldn't avoid.
Like
and
every
just
jewelry
when it
store,
seemed
they
like
gonna
things
show you what
couldn't
they
get
show
any
you,
more
but when you
intense,
go in there, you
more
could get
voices
whatever
from
you
the
could
industry
afford.
began
You know what I'm
speaking
saying?
up. Artists, insiders, and observers all adding their perspectives, making it clear this situation wasn't just one isolated moment. It was part of a much bigger conversation. Authorities identified several individuals connected to the case. Jose Hernandez, 38, Tamika Lash Krosky, 44, Gregory Andrews, 34, Messiah Sims, 31, and around $27,000 in cash and roughly $50,000 worth of jewelry were recovered. But here's the part that really got people talking.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
If the total value, some items still had price tags attached. Conversation. Authorities identified several individuals connected to the case. Jose Hernandez, 38, Tamika Lash Krosky, 44, Gregory Andrews, 34, Messiah Sims, 31, and Christelle Krosky, 29. Reports pointed out that Christelle was Tamika's son and was already in custody on unrelated matters at the time. The situation even involved a family connection, which made the story stand out even more. When law enforcement searched the locations tied to the group, they reportedly found diamond rings, necklaces, bracelets, and watches. Some items still had price tags attached, and others carried Icebox branding, making them easier to identify. Along with that, around $27,000 in cash and roughly $50,000 worth of jewelry were recovered.
Tags on
But
shit?
here's the part that really got
let the
people
customers
talking.
know that you
If
got
the
stole it
total
from
value
Icebox?
taken was estimated between $5 million and $10 million, and only a small portion was recovered, what happened to the rest? That leaves millions in merchandise still unaccounted for, and even now, people continue to question where it all ended up. At the time, the acting Cobb County District Attorney made strong public statements, promising serious legal consequences for those involved, and emphasizing how seriously the case was being handled. The message was clear. This situation wasn't being taken lightly. Still, the bigger questions didn't just disappear. People kept bringing up the same points: the missing footage, the delays in sharing information, and the large amount of unrecovered items.
So did Icebox have
Those
something to do with it or
kept
not?
the
Like, was it
conversation
an inside
alive long
scam for
after the
insurance
initial
money, or
headlines
hood
faded.
niggas
When
in
you
Atlanta
step
really
back,
took that shit?
this story connects to something even larger. Icebox is part of a wider world of celebrity jewelers, and over time, similar concerns and debates have come up again and again across that entire space. Remember what Lil Durk said, and this is someone who's actually been around these shops. He went on Instagram and said, "Stop buying all this jewelry without knowing what you're doing." He warned that some pieces in the market aren't what people think they are, and that others may be priced way higher than expected. He even said artists might feel disappointed once they really understand
that they be
what
doing when you going to sell your jewelry and they won't check to make sure it's real, and they scratch on the little thing to make sure, all right, this real gold, and then they do it like, man, yeah, let me see all that when I'm buying the jewelry. Let me see that too.
Dirk also gave clear advice: find one jeweler you trust and
sweet
stick
as a
with them.
motherfucker.
This isn't coming from a random voice either. This is someone deeply connected to the culture, spending serious money on jewelry, telling others to move carefully. That alone got a lot of attention, and he's not the only one speaking up. There's even a well-known Instagram page called Fake Watch Buster that focuses on reviewing watches and pointing out inconsistencies. They've built a whole platform around analyzing pieces worn by celebrities and jewelers, and they've called out some major names along the way. One situation that really blew up involved Lil Baby at the Met Gala. He was seen wearing a Patek Philippe Nautilus, a watch that reportedly cost around $400,000. At one point, he even shared proof of purchase publicly, confident in what he had. But then,
Fake watchbusters stepped in and started breaking the watch down, pointing out details they believed didn't match the original specifications.
I remember
Post
that, but that
spread
wasn't what
fast,
Icebox
and
was.
suddenly
That was
everyone was
another
debating whether the
jeweler.
piece was authentic or not. After all the attention, Lil Baby even reached out to protect Philippe directly, suggesting that aftermarket sellers might be misleading buyers. And that's what made this moment so big.
That ain't they
One of
problem,
the top
though.
artists in the
They
world
like, nigga,
spending
you
a
shoulda
massive
came to us
amount
and
on
got
a
that
watch
shit.
and still ending up in a situation filled with questions. That's where the hip-hop
Can't
jewelry
go to an aftermarket spot, buy some shit, and then go to the original people and be like, well, the aftermarket people sold me some bullshit. Like, nigga, you should have came to us for the real shit and
scene
you
stands
get what
right
you get
now.
on that aftermarket
And the situation
shit.
goes
You gotta
way
go to them and
beyond
handle that
just
problem.
watches. The fake Watchbuster page doesn't only question what artists are wearing, they also look closely at the jewelers themselves. Because at the end of the day, the jewelers are the ones with the technical knowledge. They understand diamond grading, materials, and the difference between various types of pieces. So when lower grade items are sold at premium prices to clients who may not know all the details, people start asking serious questions. Some critics even
See how full and thick his dreads is now compared to what we saw when them bitches was all raggedy and tore up in the front, but now you got good dreads in the come on, man, this bullshit. This fake hair he got in his head.
Argue that this isn't casual, it's part of how the business works in certain situations. That idea alone has kept the conversation going strong. There have been multiple call-outs over time. Names like Soulja Boy, Lil Scrappy, Waka Flocka, Jada
These are people who you could tell probably be having
Kiss,
fake
and Sean
jewelry on
Kingston
though.
have all been mentioned in online discussions analyzing different pieces they've worn. In Soulja
would
Boy's
assume.
case,
Look
the
at the
topic
people you
became
named.
so frequent
Soulja
that it turned
Boy,
into viral jokes
Lil
and memes
Scrappy.
across social media. Now shifting over to another major name, Johnny Dang.
I hate niggas who wear these Jesus pieces, bro. It's like the epitome, and even if they real, I just hate these pieces with this white man on there. I hate this shit.
Comparisons here are hard to ignore. The Houston-based jeweler, often called the King of Bling, recently had
Go to the
viral
jewelry store and say, "Ooh, let me get that Jesus piece, that little head, like who
posts
make you
spreading
do that?
online,
That seemed like some middle
claiming
of the
the
mall
store
type
had
shit.
been searched by authorities over questions about jewelry authenticity. The story moved fast. People were sharing it everywhere, reacting instantly, and adding their own takes. But then, Johnny Dang responded publicly, saying none of it was true. No search, no official case, no confirmed issues with his products. It appeared to be a situation where unverified information
looking like
spread
Wayne
quickly
right
and
up.
took on its own life. But here's what really stands out. The fact that so many people believed it right away says a lot. It shows there's already a level of skepticism around celebrity jewelers. And once a story like that appears, it doesn't take much for it to catch fire and spread everywhere. Trust in the jewelry scene is definitely taking some hits. When artists are publicly warning each other to be careful,
You
when
got
entire
some niggas who
Instagram
really spending
pages
the
are
real
dedicated
bag
to
on this
questioning
shit, but it be on like watches and shit like that that's gonna hold its value. You could go trade it in, get your money back, trade up, do shit like that. But on them custom pieces, if you spending buku money, you just losing
pieces,
out.
and when legal disputes
That's just
start
a loss,
piling
so
up
you gotta eat
between
that
artists and
loss.
jewelers, it puts the whole industry under a
stupid
microscope.
purchase.
And that brings the focus right back to Icebox. While there hasn't been any confirmed federal action specifically tied to
What?
selling inauthentic jewelry,
Y'all
the
said
combination of
after the feds
situations
uncover
surrounding
shocking,
the
or
brand,
like,
the legal
I'm thinking-
disputes,
in my head, I'm
unanswered
thinking the
questions
feds
from
ran
the
up in
major
that bitch.
death
They
case,
said
ongoing
shocking
debates
claims. That
about
don't mean that
diamond
the feds ran in there, so y'all got me. Y'all
chip
got me with
pieces,
this
and
bullshit. ass
strong
video.
claims made during past conflicts has people look deeper into what they're actually buying. So, where does that leave Icebox now? The business is still active, still posting, still bringing in well-known clients, and still showing off new pieces online. From the outside, everything might look the same as before.
It's been falling
Artists
off
are
a little
moving
bit. It
smarter
ain't the
now.
same as before.
People like Lil Durk are out
Sure,
here
it ain't
telling
the
others
same.
straight up, do your research before spending big money on jewelry. Pages asking more questions and being more cautious before agreeing to anything. And then there's the 2019 incident. That situation raised ongoing questions about security, insurance, and how information was handled afterward. Several individuals were taken into custody, but a large portion of the merchandise was never recovered. Even years later, people still bring up the missing details, delayed footage, and unanswered questions.
This nigga said
I
this is
lost
good.
$50,000
good
because
2-3
I didn't
times.
buy a domain name. My advice,
He just
head to
doing
Wix.
shit to make this video
Looking at the
longer.
bigger picture, this all ties into the long relationship between hip-hop and video moments featured and even warnings coming directly from artists. It creates an
Nigga, I'm mad I watched this
These
whole
shouldn't be-
video, but if y'all watched the whole video with me, I appreciate it. So hit that like button, like, comment, subscribe.
Just do it for the pod, just do it for the pod, do it.